Hello, good morning, my dear friends, my dear students. Today onwards, we are starting the online classes for diploma mechanical students. So, as you know, last from the 3-4 months you are suffering due to COVID. It has affected badly to the education system as well as in all the outside world. So, let it be. Now, after your long gap, so we are starting the online class. Myself, I will give introduction first. I am Chetan Bogar. Before I was in first shift, as you already know. Now I shifted to the second shift mechanical. So I am really happy to teach for your second shift students also. So today is the first session, that is I am taking a subject for third semester, strength of materials. So in this first class we will discuss only about introduction about the strength of material. Why we need to study strength of material? What are the applications, and in engineering point of view or in your future career, how the strength of material is going to be useful? So that you must know first. So we will start first with the introduction of strength of material. So as in the name of the subject is strength of material. So whenever you are designing any mechanical system or any type of machines, mechanisms, you need to select material. To select appropriate material, one must have the good knowledge about the materials. Then, what are the knowledge you must have regarding the materials? As already you studied in the first semester, some of the basic things regarding the materials in the science subject. So, you have studied regarding the mechanical properties of materials and also the different units you are using in the engineering science for the analysis of the material or for finding the different properties or checking, so on. So now we deal with what are the basic things you have studied in the first year. So let's think about the stress, strain, Young's modulus, Poisson's ratio, then modulus of elasticity, like so on. You studied in the science subject. It was the first basic preliminary concept about the materials and what are the main importance of that properties while selecting that engineering material for some particular applications. So we deals with that. So now in this first introductory class we will discuss about why the study of strength of material is so important in the engineering concept. So strength of material is required to design any type of machineries. So in that you are selecting some particular material. So that material, how you have to select? To select that, you must have the thorough knowledge about the that properties of the materials, and also some of the basic things you need to calculate. So after that, you can choose that material for the particular condition. So another example I will give you. Even in the civil engineering, strength of material plays very important role. For example, if you want to construct any building, so there you need to select the what size bar you need to use for the column and the beam, and what is the strength capacity, cement and stone sand ratio you need to use. So that by combining together, we will go to construct the buildings or homes. So by that, we will come to get the exact required strength for the building. Otherwise, building may collapse. Okay. So even engineers or famous engineer Sir M. Visvesvaraya, he has designed so many dams, bridges. So strength of material is not only now; it is from the ancient days. So even we can see now in the so many historical places, so many idols or bridges. You hear only in our local place, Gokak bridge you can take it. So it is constructed long year back. during the Britisher. So still it is having the good strength because they used the good and correct appropriate material. So by seeing this all, the strength of material subject plays very important role to study regarding the basics and strength of material. So as I was talking regarding the bridges and dams, so there what are the different types of materials they are used, why they are using that material only. So the selecting the material is not an easy concept. So it is one of the engineering concept. Design engineer will select the material, but as a mechanical engineers you must know regarding the basics of materials. So here in this strength of materials we are studying. So it is this subject more brief introduction with presentation slides I will cover in the another video. So but here we will only concentrate on just I am concentrating in generally what is strength of material, why it is need to be studied. So strength of materials is one of the subject which will helpful for each and every engineering analysis work or designing any critical components, or in each and every field it is required. You may take in aerospace or in the ship, or you can take in the ISRO, what you can call it as satellite launching. So that in all each and every field, from the mechanical, civil, electrical, wherever you go, you must know about the materials, and regarding the strength of materials you need to study properly. Then you can be the perfect mechanical engineer or to design any type of component or the machineries. So let's start with introduction. First of all, what is beginning? Engineers must know the response of solid materials to the external force. So here in this the inherent ability of material which it possesses to resist the external force depends on the strength of materials. Just I was explaining regarding the strength of material importance, studying of this subject importance I was explaining. So here engineers must know that what are the different types of forces are acting on the material, and whether it is going to resist or not. So what is the definition of the strength of material? The inherent ability of material which possesses to resist the external forces depends on the strength of material. You take any material, so that material it has to withstand the I am applying the external force. This has to withstand. You take a chalk and just to break it, it will cut easily because the strength of that chalk is as compared to this whiteboard marker, it is less. The chalk will easily break because of due to sustaining the external force, the resistance for the chalk is less. But here whenever you apply the external force to this whiteboard marker, so it is having a sufficient strength to that particular load is good as compared to the chalk. So how we are just given the simple example of the chalk and the whiteboard. Some of the important factors that influence the behavior of a material under the action of several types of forces are explained in this chapter. So in this chapter we are studying about the different types of forces and each individually we are learning one by one. So another important information I have to give for you people is regarding the notes as well as which book you have to refer. So regarding the notes, we may feel that through PDF or in the website or through group we will going to share it. And books, what are the books you can refer it. I will also share in the presentation slide, so I will take there. You can use strength of material by standard book. You can refer, you use Bansal, and you can also use book R.S. Kurmi, and this finally you are asked for only syllabus and only the point you want to study. You can use strength of material by Mundas. So like that you can refer the different textbooks, and you also take question papers, previous year question papers. You will come to know each and every chapter whenever you are studying. You will come to know what are the important questions and that important questions you give more concentration and study, and the definitions without fail you make it perfect, because this strength of material subject is not only theoretical subject, it is a problematic subject. It consists more of problems. So you must practice problems maximum as possible, so that in exam you can score good marks. This subject is, as compared to theoretical subject, it is not so easy to pass, not difficult to get 100 marks also. You can easily score good marks here, provided you must take good interest and will to study with proper regular practice by referring question papers. And you don't think that due to online class sir will not going to understand some concept and all. So whatever from our end is possible to clarify your doubts, problems, we'll try maximum. Okay, so till this online classes will going to continue, we will continue through like this online, but after when if any government circular comes, we can start classes regularly. So and now here in this I was discussing regarding the different types of forces are explained here initially in introduction. Different types of forces are what? What are the different types of external forces will going to act in the strength of material? Here it consists of five types of external forces. External forces: tension, compression, bending, torsion. One by one we will discuss after writing here. Now we come to what is tension. Tension means, don't think that regular tension what will take in the exam moment. Tension will come to you because of fear of the exam. So that is also one form of tension, but here tension refer to the material. So for whatever the material we are analyzing, tension is a force that acts in one direction. Tension is a force, it acts in one direction. It acts in one direction. A simple example of tension is a stretched wire or rope. You take an example, you take one spring and stretch it. So it will be, force will be under one direction and it is under a tension. Or another example is you take a harmonium that spring and you just stretch it, or you take on spring type of wire and just stretch it. One side it is fixed and another side is under external tension or force. So like that you can take example for the tension. So it acts in a one direction. Next comes what is compression. So compression, compression is a force that acts to press a body. Example of compression is a rubber piece. I'll take example of this. So if I compress this, what will happen? The size of this duster, sponge, what will happen? It will compress. So you are applying, you take one full sponge like this and you compress like this. What will happen? Its size will reduce. Okay. So because of external force you are applying. This is called compression, external force. So here compressor example is compressed rubber piece. Next comes bending. What is bending? So force when applied over a body that causes a curvature is called bending force. A simple example is bending of wire. So bending, you can take it when you are standing straight and you want to bend it. What you need to do? You need to stretch. So then only you will bend. Same way, you take any wire and that wire you need to. I'll take example of this wire here. It is a straight, and when you take and you start bending like this, what will happen here? Curvature will form. So why this curvature bending? It was initially straight. So when you are applying a force here and here, and you are bending like this, both the sides, it will form the curvature. This is called what? Bending due to external force. Okay, so this is called bending type of external force. Wire. Next comes torsion. What is torsion? A force is applied to twist the body and the action is called torsion. Example is twisting of wire. So when you stretch it here, so that happens, you are bending this. But when you are twisting like this, what will happen? This wire will be under the torsion. This is called torsion because of external forces acting towards this wire. So wire will be under the torsional external force. Next comes shear. So shear, when a body is cut across by the action of two parallel and opposite forces, this phenomenon is called shear. So these are the different 5 types of external forces will act on the body. So you, before studying the strength of material problems, you must know the basic concept clearly. Then only you can easily solve any type of difficult problems. So unless and until if you not understand the basic concept of this subject, it is very difficult to solve the problems of this subject. This subject is very easy, but you need to understand the basic concept of the subject first. So then you can solve any type of problems easily. So now next part is elasticity. You have already studied this first initial chapter, introduction and basic things you already studied in the science subject, I feel. Also you done experiment also in the science lab. Young's modulus experiment you have done. So there also you come across so many terms: elasticity, plasticity, okay, Young's modulus, Poisson's ratio, modulus of elasticity. Like different terms you came over already in the science lab experiment as well as in the science theory. So now we will concentrate here once again the basics of this concept, because these are the once again the introduction part in the first chapter. Elasticity. What is elasticity? Whenever a force acts on a body. See, once again comes here force. What is force? Force means what? So this force, basic thing you must know. Force is about external force per unit area. Your external load is acting on the body. Due to that will make the movement. Now we'll consider here what is elasticity. Elasticity, whenever a force acts on a body, right here. What is elasticity? Whenever a force acts on a body, it undergoes some deformation and the molecules within the body offer some resistance to the deformation. When external forces are removed, the body remains to its original shape and size, then it is said to be elastic in nature. So what is elasticity? I'll clear the concept first. You take example of sponge. So you put some external force on this and it will go to compress. Okay, when it will compress and you remove this load, external load, what will happen? It will come back to, I compressed this. See, if I remove after that, it will come back to original position. So this is called elasticity. Whenever you apply external force on a body and if you remove it, after removing it comes back to its original shape and size, it is called elasticity. Then next comes plasticity. What is plasticity? Whenever you are applying a load, example you take tensile testing. So also I got this third semester, due to this corona and all, not able to maybe conduct the practical, but you will understand clearly concept over there in the mechanical testing lab. So there you are conducting a testing on mild steel specimen in universal testing machine. So there you will come to know clearly the concept of what is tensile force, what is the compressive force, what is the elasticity, what is plasticity, yield point, then ultimate point, then all material property testing will come to know. There you will going to understand the basic concept with practical understanding there in the lab. So but here I want to convey you by the theoretical method as well as if possible in the next in the screen sharing session. Means I will present through PPT and some videos. So there once again I will collect some materials for clearly understanding the basic concept. So what is plasticity? Plasticity is a property of the material in which when the external forces are applied on the body, and after some time it will not come back. When the external forces are removed and body will not come back to regain its original shape and size, it will not come back to its original shape and size. That is called plasticity. So these are the two terms, elasticity and plasticity. So this much I think is enough today. Is only the introductory part today I am taking, and another presentation I will prepare for giving more details regarding the introduction of the today's class. Thank you. So without fail, also take some time, and we will also practice it. We will share the notes in the group so that you can study regularly, so that it is useful for you. Thank you.